Kia ora, it's middle of March and I'm going to introduce you to Vita. Vita's our light earth building and appropriate technology intern, and he is from Brazil and he's been here for a few weeks now. He did the PDC and now Bob and Vita are full on into the some of the light earth building projects, which we'll show you. So this project is a chicken house, and my goal with the chicken house was to have an internal smooth lime plastered wall, so that because the mites, like the main, I mean, I don't really have a major problem with mites at all, but because the chickens are really healthy, but mites are an issue in chicken houses, and so I thought the ideal situation in here would be to have a lime plastered wall and roosts, and on an annual basis actually too, and then that keeps the mite levels right down. They don't like the lime. So we're just in the process of doing the wall infill. It's been waiting a while. Would you like to tell us what you're doing here, Vita?
Yeah, sure. So this is a pumice and lime infill, as Kay was saying. It's 2 parts pumice and, sorry, it's 5 parts of pumice and 1 part of lime. And our main goal really, as Kay was saying, is to keep the mice out, and once we've done the infill, then we can plaster on top. So this mixture is really just meant to fill up the space between the netting and the tarp that's on the other side. And we're doing this process inside and outside of the chick house. It's quite easy to push this mixture inside, as you can see. But one of the challenges that we're having is once we build up the mixture at around 30 centimeters, it starts pushing out at the bottom because of the netting. So basically what we have here is, it's 2 elements. It's the thickness of the mixture and the size of the netting. And in this case, the mixture is not thick enough and the netting is also not small enough. And so eventually it starts pushing out. A way to solve it would be having a thicker mixture or a netting with smaller holes. But it's still working pretty well. Our solution to work around this was to work in different days. So we did the bottom on one day, and then we did the halfway through the wall on the other day, and so doing it in small bits, but getting there slowly. And I think the results are going to be good, because once this dries, is really hard and easy to plaster on.
Okay, so we've gone from the chook house to a different, some different techniques of light earth building, and this is the back of our greenhouse or the garden shed.
Okay, we've got just a standard wooden frame building here with studs. Studs are covered up now, but then once the studs are in there, we put these strips of wood across on both sides of the studs. And then we've got a light earth infill, which is, we make up a slurry of clay, and then we just soak the straw in it and throw it into the empty space in the middle there. So we've just let that set there now, and we're ready to put another layer on. And down below the bottom plate, down here, we've got our rat skirt and our sort of foundation wall. And it goes down in an L shape, and at the bottom of the L there's a concrete and steel mesh, stop the rats going in underneath. And then we've plastered up the foundation wall here with a mix of pumice and cement, and then we'll put a bit of a lime plaster over that. So on the other side here, we've done our first earth plaster onto our light earth. So we've gone from this mix here and put a plaster over there of just lime and like a
pumice and lime.
pumice and lime, basically, which sets quite hard. And then we'll do a lime plaster to finish it off finally. So that's our basic technique that we're working with.
And what do you think are the pros and cons, Vita, between this method and the method in the chook house?
Well, the light earth method, it gives you insulation, which is something that you need in buildings that you're gonna be living in. So that's good. That's a pro. It's a bit harder to work with the light earth mix because it makes a bit more of a mess. But it works pretty well, and it sets really solid as well. And it'll give you the insulation you need during winter. Either if it's for a place that you're gonna be sleeping in, or in this case it's a storage building. So yeah, that's some of the pros and cons.
Cool.
What else do you think, Bob?
Oh, with the netting in the chook house, we found that we had to take several steps to get up to the top.
Yeah.
So we'd do a third of the way up, let it set, and then come back the next day, let it set,
Yeah,
work our way up. With this one here, we pretty much
you can do
did
everything
the whole wall in one go.
in one day. Yeah.
Yeah, because these little strips of wood here just support it enough, and
Yeah.
the straw. So yeah, this is a little bit slower to mix, but it's faster to put up.
What are the strips made of?
Oh,
Kanuka.
these ones are Kanuka.
So there's basically no cost in any of that, whereas the chook house system is the cost of the
Of the netting.
netting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, this one's definitely
And
cheaper.
and sorry, and what is actually this? It's not straw, is it? What is it?
Well, this is hay, but it's hay that's been made from grass that's quite old. So we figured it's quite a. I mean, the main thing with straw, it's very high carbon. This is going to be fairly high carbon too, because it's not sort of hay that you'd feed to the cows. It was hay that was made from grass that had gone to seed. So,
Grant says you can use the other hay anyway.
yeah. So essentially, it's a high carbon grass mix, really, dry grass.